Welcome to my dear students. Now today's deliberation is relating to a methods of costing, that is process costing. It is most important methods of costing. There are various methods of costing. Out of them, process costing is very important. It is also very difficult also. So first of all, we have to know about what is process costing. And as you all know, this process costing covers both in +3 first year syllabus, cost accounting, and +3 second year syllabus, cost and management accounting. In +3 second year syllabus, it is in unit 2, that is methods of costing, and in +3 first year, it is in unit 4, process costing. As the term suggests, process costing means a costing method applicable to those types of industries where more than one processes are involved. Means process costing is that type of operational costing where standardized goods are produced. Whenever we are doing any manufacturing activity, if you are doing the manufacturing activity by more than one processes, it is called, the method of costing applicable to this is called process costing. Process costing is that aspect of operation costing which is used to ascertain the cost of the product at each process or stage of manufacture. It means what? We have to calculate each and individual process's costs. This method of accounting used in industries where the process of manufacture is divided into 2 or more processes. Means if any business is engaging any operations, if any business is doing any operations, and if that business is consisting of more than 2 processes, it is called process costing. Means the method of costing applicable to this is called process costing. Normally, process costing is applied to the industries like textile industries, cement industries, pharmaceutical industries, like this. Now we should start features of process costing. First feature: production is done having a continuous flow of products, having a continuous flow of identical products. Clearly defined process cost centers and the accumulation of all costs by the cost centers. Third, the maintenance of accurate records of units and part units produced and cost incurred by each process. Fourth, the finished product of one process becomes the raw material of the next process. 5. Avoidable and unavoidable losses usually arises at different stages of manufacturing. Next, in order to obtain accurate average cost, it is necessary to measure the production at various stages of manufacture, as all the input units may not be covered into finished goods. Different products with or without byproducts are simultaneously produced at one or more stages or processes of manufacture. Output is uniform and all units are exactly identical during one or more processes. Means, in concise way, if we can say what is actually process costing, means a method of costing applicable to those types of industries where more than one processes are involved and each and individual processes costs are to be separately determined, and for each and individual processes separate process accounts are to be prepared. Process costing is applicable to cement work industries, soap making industries, box making industries, distillation process works, paper mills, biscuit works, oil refining, textile weaving, spinning, etc., food products, canning factory, coke works, paint, ink and varnishing works, meat products factory, milk dairy, like this. So many businesses are there, they are involving with process costing. Now coming to the next and most important part which is coming in the examination, the basic difference between job costing and process costing. Job costing is, as you all know, in the previous video I have said that job costing is otherwise known as specific order costing. I have given the example of interior decoration there. Job costing is the form of specific order costing which applies the work is undertaken for customer special requirements, but process costing is that form of costing which applies where standardized goods are produced. Job costing is the cost unit and the costs are collected for each job individually, but in process costing, costs are collected by processes or departments on time basis and divided by output for a period. In job costing, losses are generally not segregated. But in process costing, normal losses are carefully predetermined and abnormal losses are segregated. In job costing, overheads are allocated and apportioned to cost centers, then absorbed by jobs proportion to the time taken. But in process costing, units pass through the same process, overheads are apportioned to the processes on same suitable basis. Sometimes predetermined rates may be used. In job costing, joint products, byproducts do not usually arise in jobbing work, but in joint products, but in process costing, joint product or byproducts do arise and joint cost apportion is necessary. In job costing, standard costing is generally not suitable for jobbing work, but standard costing is applicable for process costing works. In job costing, work in progress valuation is specific and is obtained from the analysis of outstanding jobs. But in process costing, work in progress valuation, operating costs have to be spread over fully complete output and partially complete products using the concept of equivalent units. In job costing, each job is separate and independent of others, but in process costing, products lost their individual identity as they are manufactured in a continuous flow. There are usually no transfers from one job to another unless there is a surplus work or excess production, but every process, if one process finishes in a particular time and the finished product of one particular process will be transferred to a next process and finished product of process 1 will be the raw material for the process 2. Job costing requires more forms and details, process costing requires few forms and less details. Now coming to some important items in process costing. Number 1, normal process loss. What is normal process loss? Normal process loss is a loss which is unavoidable on account of inherent nature of production process. Means अगर आपका कोई लॉस होता है आप उसको अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते, उसको बोलते हैं नॉर्मल लॉस. Like the example, if petroleum business is there, petrol is a evaporate material, metal. So petrol can be evaporated. Similarly, some items are there, we are introducing some units of goods, but we are not getting the output exactly the quantity which we have already introduced. At that time, some units may be normally lost, some units may be abnormally lost. Normal loss units we can't avoid the normal loss units. Now coming to the next category, but we can sell the normal loss units on a scrap basis. Now coming to the next category, which is abnormal process loss. Any loss which we can avoid it, any loss caused by unexpected or abnormal conditions such as plant breakdown, substandard materials, carelessness, accidents, etc. For these particular circumstances or reasons, if any loss is caused, it is called abnormal loss. So how to calculate abnormal loss? If our number of units introduced, number of units output we will get after finishing the production, and how much is the closing stock, and how much the normal loss, the balancing figure is either abnormal loss or abnormal gain. Okay. If the output portion is more than the input portion, it is absolutely abnormal gain. If the input portions are more than the output portion, the difference between these two are known as what? Abnormal loss. Abnormal gain or loss is equals to total loss minus normal loss. Valuation of abnormal loss is to be done by applying the following formula. Note down. Normal cost of normal output divided by normal output into unit of abnormal loss. Means how much cost you have to introduce, how much cost you have already expended, you add all this, divided with by deducting the abnormal loss units from the total units introduced, you find the normal output, and multiply the amount with the number of units of abnormally lost. You find the amount of abnormal loss. Now coming to the category of abnormal gain. As like abnormal loss is a loss, similarly abnormal gain is also a particular item which will be identified if the outputs are more than the inputs. Then abnormal gain comes. It is also calculated by applying the same formula, like valuation of abnormal gain equals to normal cost of normal output divided by net normal output into units of abnormal gain. But abnormal loss is credited in process account, while normal loss and abnormal loss both have to be credited in process account, but abnormal gain is debited in process account. While preparing process account, you should remember one particular thing: all items of expenditures always be debited to process account. Material, wages, any other expenses, these are to be debited, and the outputs transferred to the next process will be carried forward to the credit side, and it will be noted and it should be posted to the credit side of process account. Units of abnormal loss with amount, units of normal loss with scrap amount, that is to be also recorded in the credit side. And the balancing figure, it may be some closing work in progress also, so it will be also credited to the process account. Now coming to the next category, this is equivalent production. Equivalent production means what? Equivalent production means this represents the production of a process in terms of completed units, means how much percentage of work has been completed, so for that equivalent production category is to be counted down. In other words, it means converting the incomplete production units into a equivalent of complete units. अगर आपके पास कोई कुछ मतलब गुड्स आप इंट्रोड्यूस किए थे और आपका अकाउंटिंग ईयर खत्म हो गया, तो आप उसको नेक्स्ट ईयर में कंप्लीट करेंगे. तो अगर किसी भी इनकम्प्लीट प्रोडक्शन है उसको अगर हम कंप्लीट करेंगे और उसके लिए कितना कंप्लीट हुआ है उसका वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस का वैल्यू निकालेंगे. In each process, an estimate is made for the percentage completion of every work in progress. We find the value of work in progress here. A production schedule and the cost schedule will be prepared. The work in progress is inspected and the estimate is made on the degree of completion, usually on a percentage basis. It is most important that the estimate is accurate as possible because a mistake at this stage affects the stock valuation used in the preparation of final accounts. And equivalent units of work in progress equals to actual number of units process of manufacture into percentage of work completed. Means number of units into percentage of work completion. Means it is given in the question. You have to just straight multiply it and find the value. How to calculate equivalent production? The following steps are to be counted down. Number 1. State the opening work in progress in equivalent completed units by applying the percentage of work needed to complete the unfinished work of the previous period. If the opening work in progress is 100 units, which is 40% completed, then the equivalent units will be 100 into 60%. Because why? Because 40% has already been completed and 60% is to be finished, means it's outstanding. So the equivalent units will be 60 units. Second step. Add first bit number of units started and completed during the period. This can be found out by deducting the units in the closing work in progress from the number of units put into the process. Third, add to the above the equivalent completed units of closing work in progress. This can be found out by applying the percentage of work done on the finished units of the end of the period. And by calculating this equivalent production units, there are so many formulas, there are so many methods applicable for this, how to calculate practically, problematically while solving the problems. There are so many different types of methods. So many methods like first in first out method, FIFO method, last in first out method, LIFO method, average cost method, simple average cost method, weighted average cost method. So there are so many different types of methods applicable how to prepare process accounts. So these are all about the theoretical aspects of process costing. As hope you all understand this particular video, and next time I will give you more and more videos. Please don't waste your time. It's a time for managing your time, because exam is knocking at your door. As and when any time notification will come, you should mug up all these theoretical aspects. You should understand the theoretical aspects. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me freely. Okay? And in this pandemic situation, again I am repeating, always use social distancing, use masks. Don't go to outside if there is no emergency. If you are going to outside, you should maintain social distance and use always wearing masks, and keep well, stay home, stay safe, always respect your parents, grandparents, and always respect to your elders. Thank you. Have a nice day. Okay.